But do you remember why Bob was going for you, Barry, in the changing room that day? Remember we lost Red
There's a load of reasons it could have been.
So he sat in the corner, and he's like where the changing room went. He had his hands like that, waiting for it. And I shot it. I was like, right, I'm going to smash him. And whatever way it did, it hit one wall, hit the other, and smacked Bob straight in the face. I was like, I'm sorry. But then Bad started going, ah! Like that. Let me out.
Barry's words were, if you weren't such a slow fat, you could have moved.
You expect, we see it's lopsided story. You expect 20 minutes trying to get me. The lot of you, it was a former bully involved. It was a funny day. Hey?
Lads, I've got to shoot. I've got a big day, Home Depot with the kids, Bed Bath and Beyond. Great to see you, Topsy. Well done, not a shambles.
Yeah, Bobby. See you, Bob.
A good shambles. Cheers, Bob.
Buddy.
See you, Bob.
All right, we're not far off. Right, last couple. Bishy and Dorf, 7-11. Testimonial year. Do you remember your last games? I don't know, it just came to me yesterday. I was going through it all, and I was like, hang on, they did a testimonial together.
I remember Dawes taking all the money. That's all I remember.
4 year deal.
Dawes, you know it.
No, Bishop.
Yeah.
I don't remember. What was the last game? At the Madejski?
Yeah, your last games before you left or retired.
Saracens, maybe? Was it Strides? It would have been yours as well, wouldn't it? I'm Clav.
Yeah.
Saracens?
Yeah.
What about you?
Did Lobbo wear that brown suit again?
Yeah.
Brought out the colour of his eyes.
Last game, it wasn't the Madejski. It was the last game of the season. I wasn't in the squad.
Yeah, because we all got jerseys. We all got the jerseys handed to us, and the kids came onto the ground. I remember that. And then that was the end of it, wasn't it? It was. I can't. Who did we actually play? I can't even remember.
Mine and yours was Worcester, Bish.
Was it Worcester?
Yeah.
Yeah. At heart, was that the Madejski?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. But
my
memories were, I think the greatest change at London Irish. Although Struthers, we had a really good era and everything, but people like Mikey, Maps, Elvis, and then we had Dilo, Topsy, and Lossie come in. And although, as a player, you're slightly gutted about Christ, these guys, especially if it's in your position, you're pretty gutted about that guy taking your position. But I look back at it now and I think these guys were serious players, serious finishers. So Topsy, Lossie and Dilo could finish anything. And when Lossie turned up as well, he had that X factor within the Premiership that no one ever had, not many people had. Max, you had that X factor. Elvis had it. Catty was very, intelligent, brain-wise. Not saying that Baz wasn't, but...
Whoa. That was the X Factor. Lost you, X Factor. Kenny, you had the brains. You saying our back three didn't have.
For me,
Not Dilo. Definitely not Dilo. No brains there, Dilo.
I learned the old school. Just chase Barry's kicks.
They got you fit.
Yeah.
But for me, Matt, when an offload happened or something, these guys could read it. And not saying that we weren't great players or good players. They could just read a little bit more of that natural flair that probably we were pretty structured at the time before you guys came in. Do you see what I mean? So your position was there. You had to do this.
Pretty structured. Just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
just slightly structured, eh?
Slightly?
I used to know what Flav was doing, and he used to know what I was doing.
Yeah, but saying that, Bish,
Yeah,
we actually learned a lot from you boys. Like you got saying that we came in and we had this, we had that. what you don't know is we were watching you boys. We were learning from you. So everything like you guys did in training and on the film, I see. I mean, you know, we try to copy and, you know, be better at it, I guess. And without you guys letting us in and coaching us as well as you did, do you know what I mean? It wasn't just turned up and...
I'll agree with you, Dilo. I taught you everything you know.
My problem.
I'm
Kane and Ron didn't make me good. That's the problem.
I'm gonna pick up Dilo on this one. I'm gonna pick up Dilo. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up Dilo and say,
coached by Bestie.
Yeah.
Were they? Those boys didn't get coached by Bestie.
We all had my agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fishy. The thing is, you guys know that have been there for so long. You guys created an environment that made us comfortable to do those things, and so, you know, it's not just it doesn't just happen. You got to be, you got to feel confident and comfortable in the environment you're in to have that offload that you given a license to have a go. And that's that doesn't just happen overnight or in one day. It's a build up of, you know, look, even sitting here listening to you guys talk about, you know, the early 2000s. It's awesome, and Irish is, you know, the big reason why Irish is the way it was is, you know, because of you guys.
No one got too big for their boots, Max.
Or they got kicked in the corner, kicked the dog.
Everyone got banter. Everyone got abused. That was it. No one was too big for their boots, and if you did, then you get it pretty quick.
Yep.
Guys, I've got to go. I've got to head south. Nice to see you all.
No problem. We're about to wrap up.
Guys, see you.
Lala.
Just what Bishy said there, what Matt said. Like, I've been fortunate enough to go around, you see a lot of clubs, and there's very few clubs. They spend fortunes on...
A lot of clubs, Hats. A lot of clubs.
What you had? A lot of people spend a fortune on trying to create resilience and team spirit and stuff like that. That just happened there organically, I think, because of the people. And you didn't realize it at the time. But when you look back now, like Dilo was saying, they kicked the dog. I mean, it was one of the most brutal environments I've ever been in, but probably the best. Like, it was proper tough. You know, if you did something, no matter who you were, you got battered.
But it was relentless, Hats.
It was relentless on everything.
It was relentless.
Trained hard, played hard, enjoyed ourselves. And it's interesting now where you see clubs trying to create togetherness and teamship and all. You know, people bring in experts that charge fortunes. You know, and we got it all down at Sunbury and the Three Kings and wherever we ended up. You know, so it's just amazing, that group of players.
I think the biggest thing from youngster coming in was the perception of, you know, there was going to be these big cliques, and yet after the first game we played, you guys were like Three Kings every you know, like Strutter's walking around with a horn. But it was just that idea of like, yeah, you're going to get some banter. You don't put a foot wrong because you're going to take it. But in the same sentence, you're also open to giving it to some of the senior guys, and that you guys were unbelievably welcoming. I think you're right, Hats. People spend so much money and time talking about culture and trying to generate it, but actually looking back and post leaving Irish, like, had it in bags, right? So yeah, man, that was my biggest memory.
Yeah, just what you say. Yeah, just what you say, Hats, as well. It's almost like that. There's like an innovation each year that a new coach came in, but one coach was actually leaning on, even when Smithy came in, incredible fitness, incredibly resilient. Now we're adding skills there, or as the coaches were coming in, they're adding that little bit extra on top of what was already there. And when we say, like, the likes of the young guys coming in like Dylan and Topsy and those guys and Ossie, Bish, I think it was just when they came in, they had pace, which we were really lacking. Well, I'm not putting it in one direction. That was the X factor for a lot of things, but these guys had wheels. If they got clear, whoosh, there was no one going to catch them. And it was just, you were building on, and Maps, you said you're building on culture. There's so many good things that came together to make that. It takes a long time, doesn't it? It takes like 10 or 15 years to get there.
But it's interesting, we talked about relegation things, you know. You also forget, like, this team at its pomp, you know, like Steph, Chris Holofia, Maps, Elvis, Lossie, you know, Bish, D'Lo, like blokes that have gone everywhere. Dorska went back to Ulster and played for Ulster, you know, Ireland internationals. Where we were and where we finished, you know, we played grand finals, Heineken Cup semi-finals against the Toulouse side that, to be fair, was probably about 5-6 times our budget that we ran right up to the final wire. When you look at where we started, you know, I was one of the few blokes with Struthers, Dawes, where we started at Sunbury on that playing in that crappy pitch, and then ended up filling Reading out. Amazing journey, and the way that we changed how we played to the way that we finished up playing. They're phenomenal. You look at the players there. You know, the players that have come from the club, you know, Caddy, international rugby coach, Tofty coaching in the Premiership. You look at the Conor O'Shea, people that came from the club. There's blokes everywhere all over the place. You know, Glenn's coaching in New Zealand, or was in New Zealand, now here. Like, it's an unbelievable job what the club did with such limited resource. It's unbelievable times. I forgot Maki Horak there. Big recruitment officer for the Sharks.
Budget, big recruiting.
Unbelievable.
I think what makes it special as well is that you talk about that culture, but then you look at within that the different types of people that were there, the different nationalities, where they were coming from, but we still managed to find a common ground, which was more often than not taking the piss out of each other and you know, being hard on each other. So I think, you know, some teams create that, but there's a lot of people, like you see teams that have potentially better teams on paper with players from all around the world, but they never had that sort of bonding that we somehow managed to get quite easily, some would say. But you know, it was good. It was great. Good times. Although I was laughing hats when you were talking about getting people in together. Do you remember we had a fight in the changing room over a jersey? Do you remember you were distributing the kit, and I said, "You haven't given me your kit, my jumper, my jersey," and you were like, "I've given it to you." And then 2 minutes later, I think it was in pre-season, the two of us are rolling around the changing room, and I think Nate was looking at us going, "What the hell are these guys doing?"
I remember that. I remember that. I was there.
Hats has just fallen over. I was rolling around, everyone else was just trying to get him up. Come on, Hats.
Lads, I'm going to call it there just for time and the recording. I think that last 5 minutes kind of sums up what the Madejski and the place has done for us. Like I say, we've all had great times there. And I think as well, to be able to just put this together, like I say, lastminute.com, but everybody I'm in.
Chelsea.
Hey?
Good luck with the edit.
Yeah, not my job. This was my job. Get this together, right? Now you deal with it.
Yeah, I had this 45 minutes was in with the lads. I've got 3.5 minutes that we can show.
That's about an hour and a half minutes. You get about 3 minutes out of that.
Yeah, an hour and a half record, but there you go. But no, lads, really appreciate it. Okay, let me stop recording now, and then we're done.